Hello. Welcome to the KetoMOM page. My name is Stephanie, and I am talking to the person today that is overwhelmed, wants to quit, tired, feel like nothing is working, because those are the people that usually message me. And that was the question I answered this morning was, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know where to get started, I want to lose the weight, I'm frustrated. If any of that is you, I'm about to talk to you. So tell me this. Where are you tuning in from? It has been a busy morning in our home. We had a doctor's appointment at 7:40 in the morning. I have been running around the house, and there's just a couple of things of people coming over. We've just got a lot of stuff going on. Don't we all? So as you're tuning in, tell me one thing you're thankful for. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm going to talk to the person that's overwhelmed. I'm going to talk to the person that feels like it's never going to happen. I'm going to talk to the person who's like, you want to know what? It's easier being fat, because that's where a lot of people are at. I rhymed. So, all right. Are you ready to get started? And this is what I would do if I was talking to you one-on-one. This is what I would do if I was talking to you in a big group of people. It's the same concept, and yet I just feel like people need a reminder. And so if you're brand new to the KetoMOM page, let me know. Post new in the comments. If you're not brand new, welcome everybody. I love seeing your names, and I see so many of you that hop on all the time, and I just want to say thank you. Your presence matters. You can always go to KetoMomSecrets.com and click on recipes, how to get started, book club. We've got a book club over there, KetoMomSecrets.com. We've got ketones and trial packs. A lot of you are going through the 60-hour keto reboot right now, so I'll talk about this in a second or at the end. If you're doing the reboot, today's your last day. You're going to do incredible. Keep going. Let me know what questions you have. Now, all right. When somebody says, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know where to get started, I need you to just take a deep breath. Even right now, like, I'm not trying to be exaggerative. I'm not trying to be like silly. I'm actually being real. When I get anxious about things, when I get like that heavy feeling in my chest, which I do, about different things, like we're packing up our entire life and moving to Florida. And yesterday I sat down in a chair and I told my husband, I said, all right, I'm done. Like, I've had fun packing and I don't want to do it anymore. And he's like, I know, go take a deep breath, go find something else to do. So I need you to take a deep breath. And I just need you to think about, I say this often, I'm not trying to be a broken record, but you're alive. Like, just sit for a second, and you might not love what you look like, and you might not love how you feel, and we can fix that, but you're alive. Like, you woke up this morning, right? So that's something to be thankful for. If you're overwhelmed, the reason people are overwhelmed is because they try to do all of the things right away. And if you try to do all of the things right away, it can be overwhelming. So like the perfect meals and the perfect workouts and intermittent fasting and trying to incorporate all of these things, I get it. So if I were to break it down for you, the first thing I'm going to say before we dive into the food that I will coach you on, before I give you some ideas of how to get started, I'm going to say the same thing I say every day. What are you reading? What is in your mindset from this morning? I actually want to know this. If you're participating and you're overwhelmed, I need to know, how did you start off your day? Did you get up and just run, go, and check the Facebook and check the Insta and like look at what everybody else is doing? Or did you read something? So there's a book that I've been going through called Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table. I'm not going through this on these pages. I'm telling you the books that I'm reading. So I'm going through a book called Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table. I'm almost done with it. And a new book that I forgot that I had. I packed up all of my books because we're moving. And so I'm gonna read a book called Believe It, How to Go from Underestimated to Unstoppable. So my mentor's name is Erwin McManus. And I actually am in a special group with him and some other people that have chosen to be in a group with him. And so he really speaks highly of Jamie Kern Lima. Her name is Jamie Kern Lima. More from a business aspect. So I get up. Here's what I do in the morning. I get up. I'm not even exaggerating. I get up in the morning. I lay in bed for a couple minutes and I go, "Good morning, Lord." And I just lay there and I just say, "Thank you for another day." And then I think about my morning and I roll around because I don't love to get out of bed, and I legitimately have a conversation with God. And I go, "Are we doing this? All right, we're doing this. Are you ready?" "I'm ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And sometimes I lay there and I'm like, "Jinx, ha, gotcha. I'm gonna get up in 5 more seconds." Like I talk to God a lot. And then I get up, then I read my Bible, and then I dive into whatever books I'm reading, and I start my day. And the first thing I'm going to give you is I'm going to work with you on your mindset. So I really want to know, what are you reading? What are you thinking about? Do you turn on the TV? Do you watch the news? Is the world falling apart? Did the Instagram tell you that you're not good enough? It's important. It is so important what is going in, because that's what's coming out, right? If the negativity of the news and other people's life is causing you to be anxious or like envious, then what comes out of you is frustration. If what's going in is something that's going to help you understand, like, don't give an enemy a seat at your table, or understanding and believing that you can achieve things, what goes in is going to come out. Belief, right? Action. Super important. So it does depend on how you look at the world. When I get up and I'm talking to the Lord, right? And I get up and I immediately grab some water and electrolytes. So the first thing I do after I'm coaching you and you are overwhelmed is I say, "What are you reading? Let's look about where your mindset is at." Number 2, all I want to know is, are you drinking water? Sounds easy enough, right? If you can break some of these steps down into pretty basic steps, and at any point in time, so I'm going to walk you through something. 7 habits. I have a 7 habit tracker of 7 things I walk you through. And if you want the habit tracker, it's free. I'll send it to you. Just in the comments, write habit tracker. And it's 7 things that I walk people through. And I don't expect you to do all 7 today. I don't expect you to incorporate all 7, but I do expect you to work through them. So number 1 is mindset. We're going to work on books you're reading. Number 2 is water. So if I asked all of you on here right now, if you had to say yes or no, are you drinking enough water? Yes or no? Half your body weight in ounces of water. You should be getting up in the morning. My husband has told me this for years. And I grab a shaker bottle. I put electrolytes in it. It could be some Himalayan salt. I have an electrolyte packet that I use, and I drink that first. Even before you drink your coffee. A glass of water, or 2 glasses. So half your body weight in ounces of water. After we go through your water intake and I ask you things like, hey, if you want to get healthy, if you want to lose weight, I always say, let's first evaluate what you're drinking. That's the only thing we're going to work on. After mindset, what are you drinking? Is your coffee full of sugar? Are you drinking are you drinking your calories in the day? That's what we're going to talk about. So take an evaluation. What are you drinking? After we're done doing that, then we dive into food. So I like to tell people, sometimes we can get overwhelmed with the whole keto understanding. Most people don't do the keto diet correctly. Most people are actually not doing keto. They're doing more low carb. That is more sustainable. And what that means. What is that noise? Oh yeah, don't do that, please. No, just take it away. Ranger. I have 4 daughters and 4 dogs. Our dogs are louder than our daughters. I'm a homeschool mom as well. Okay. Here's the biggest thing that overwhelms people. It's food. Food shouldn't overwhelm you. If I were to say, all right, no more watching anybody else on social media, the internet is shut down, you have to get healthy, do you know what to do? Yes, you do. So it is going to be like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What are my best options? You have a choice every single day. You choose to grab the donut or you choose to go past the drive-thru. You choose to grab the extra large fry, or you choose to go home and make your lunch, right? All I want you to think about right now is for your meals. This is what I did for 1 year. When I first started eating better, my husband was doing keto and then he dove into more low carb. I started, just so you know, I started with drinking ketones. I did not start with a diet. If you've never tried ketones, they're incredible. It is my tool of choice. I drink them every single day. It's the only thing that helped me with my energy and my appetite control. If you've never tried them, post trial in the comments and we'll chat. I started with drinking ketones and then, you want to know what I did? I started with one meal at a time. I didn't even think about lunch and dinner. I started with breakfast. I didn't even know about intermittent fasting. We're not going to start with that. Breakfast, I said, all right, I'm going to eat proteins and veggies and salads. I'm going to cut out the sugar. So if the only thing that I walk you through to eat is I want you to eat when you're hungry, not when you're bored. Eat when you're hungry, not because the clock says to eat. And let's just assess how much you're snacking. That's it. So we're not being overwhelmed. What are you drinking? We need to drink more water. And then if you're taking notes, how often am I eating? Am I excessively snacking? And if you just evaluate yourself, do you eat a lot of food at night when you're sitting around on the couch? Let's just look at how much you're eating. I like to say, let's prioritize protein. I'm not talking about keto. People don't do it right and they don't sustain it. I'm talking about something you can do for the rest of your life. So when you pick a meal, think of a protein, think of cutting out the sugar, and if you can come back on the carbs, like take the buns off the burgers, the croutons off the salad, instead of having toast, have an omelet and some sausage. Does this make sense? So what I did is I wrote down my favorite meals for breakfast. When I felt like I had breakfast under control, I did the same thing for lunch, and I wrote down like lettuce wraps, leftovers, burger with no bun, chicken salad, tuna fish, egg salad, and then for dinner I did the same thing, and I just wrote down 5 meals or 5 options, and I posted it on my refrigerator. Your meals shouldn't overwhelm you if you're thinking proteins, veggies, salad, cut out the sugar, and cut out the bread and the starchy stuff. It doesn't have to be always. We're not going for perfect. We're going for what can be a sustainable lifestyle, because I'm telling you, I have heard more people send me messages going, I've done keto before, I've done it, I've lost all the weight, and then when I reached my goal, I went back to the old way of eating because I thought that would be fine, and I've gained all the weight back. This is not meant for you to only get to the goal and then go back to the old way of living. If you get to the goal and you go back to the old way of living, you're going to have to start over. The point is, we know sugar is terrible. We know it feeds sickness. We know it doesn't make us feel good. We know it's very addictive. I also understand that we live in a world where there's birthday parties and graduation parties and holidays and celebrations. So what if you said, you want to know what? I'm going to really do the best I can Monday through Friday. And what if Monday through Friday we work on your water, you drink whatever keeps you on track, I drink ketones. What if we talk about eventually intermittent fasting and you really hone in on Monday through Friday and you know you're going to go to a birthday party on Saturday and you might enjoy a piece of cake, but you're not going to beat yourself up. And you're going to maybe there's a potluck at church on Sunday and you're like, I'm not going to go crazy, but I might have some hot dish, right? You've got to be able to live within the world, but be able to sustain a healthy lifestyle of choosing things. Sometimes you have to be a little bit more strict in the beginning. I get it. Cutting out the cravings. But I want you to understand it's one meal at a time, one day at a time. And the biggest thing with food is the amount you're eating. So after we talk about mindset and after we talk about how much water you're drinking, the biggest thing I'm going to say is I just want you to be aware of how often you're eating. Most people overeat. They overeat good food. They're excessively eating too much. But if you eat meals and you're not a big snacker, guess what? You're going to be okay. And then after number 3 on number 4, we talk about intermittent fasting. When you're ready, all I want to do is narrow the window of time you're eating, not to take anything away from you, but to give you an awareness how often you're eating. So like if you can push your breakfast into lunch, basically here, I want you to do something for me today. Go Google intermittent fasting. Just Google the benefits. There's a lot of things I can't talk about because I'm not a doctor. There's incredible benefits to it. You stop eating after dinner, you go to the next day lunch, and you eat within a window of time. And all it's going to do is help you eat less, right? It stops the excess snacking after dinner. Once dinner is done, here's something you can really work on. Once dinner is done, shut out the kitchen lights. You don't need to sit on the couch. You don't need to be snacking and eating popcorn while you're watching a movie. Most people eat in excess of 15% more calories in food after 9 o'clock at night. So people will say to me, I don't know why I'm gaining weight, or I don't know why I'm not losing weight. And I'm like, are you a snacker? Like, especially at night. Yeah, but it's a healthy snack. I'm like, listen, it's still more food than your body needs. So once we talk about mindset and water and getting better meal options, not perfect, we dive into intermittent fasting. Lisa says that's her problem. It's most people's problem. It's the excess food everywhere they go, whether it's at their work environment or at parties or in their home or after dinner. Like, it's just the amount of food. So if you can just ask yourself before you choose something and go, am I hungry or am I bored? Am I hungry? I'll give you an example. My husband was eating lunch yesterday and he ate some leftovers. We had some leftover hot dogs. And then he saw some leftover taco stuff and he already ate his meal. And so he was like, I didn't know we had this leftovers. And he went to scoop some up and put it on his plate. And me being a supportive wife, I said, hey, babe. I was looking at him right in the kitchen. I said, are you hungry? And he's like, well, no, I just really like this. And I said, but are you hungry? And he goes, no. And then he kind of pouted and he goes, no, but I like it. And I said, I know. But your goal, you wanted to lose a little bit of weight. Do you need to eat that? I said, you just ate lunch. And my husband and I can talk to each other like this. Don't try to do that if you're not the coach to your spouse. My husband has given me full permission to help him. And I go, put it down. And he's like, you're right. I'm not hungry. What if somebody was following you around and slapping your hand every time you were going to eat something and go, are you hungry or are you bored? You're going to have to slap your own hand. Are you hungry or are you just eating because it's in front of you? The food was sitting on the counter and he's like, but that looks so good. And I'm like, you don't need it. And he's like, you're right. He sat down and he's like this. Oh, fine. All right. So mindset's important. What are you drinking is important. Oh, these flies are terrible. Your food, intermittent fasting is powerful. Then I dive into, if you can move your body, great, go for a walk. What are you doing to move your body? Do you work out? What does that look like? So I work with you, but I'm going to say go for a walk. If you can get your steps in. One of the doctors that came and spoke at one of our events, he's also one of the formulators of our product. He said, people think they've got to go to the gym for 2 hours. He's like, if people could just understand they need about 7,500 to 10,000 steps a day, you don't just dive into that. If you're like, I only do 3,000 steps, work to 4 or 5, right? But if you can get 7,500 steps or to 10,000, that in itself is incredible for you. Are you walking, moving your body? After we talk about all of that, we dive into, I know I missed a step because I have this in my 7-day habit tracker. I wish I had it in front of me. So we talked about water intake, mindset, food, intermittent fasting, moving your body. Well, I know the last one, but for some reason I'm missing one. I have a tracker and I'll talk to you about it. If you want that tracker, post habit tracker in the comments. The last one I talk about is celebrating. I need you to fall in love with the process on the way to the goal. If you don't love the process, and the process is what I'm walking you through right now, drinking your water, moving your body, intermittent fasting, eventually, working on your meals. All of those things are the process, and people don't love the process because the process takes time. It's one meal at a time, one day at a time. Lulu, stop it. No. It's you guys, ketones was one of them. I just skipped over that. But that is, I always say, listen, if you want something to help you, ketones, like this is my fuel of choice. You drink coffee or you drink other things, I'm telling you, these are incredible. If you want help with energy and focus and appetite control, if you want a tool, and I've got some trial packs, post trial in the comments. I'm not going to just send you a link. I want you to understand how they work. So I'll send you some science behind them. If you've never tried them, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a big sale coming up tomorrow. So I'll share more about that tomorrow, but these are incredible. So that would be number 6. And then number 7 is celebrating. I want you to celebrate every day. So let me ask you this really quick. Is there something you can celebrate for your morning right now? Can you celebrate anything like, yeah, I got up and I read, or I'm intermittent fasting, or maybe some of you are doing this with us, right? the reboot. Maybe you celebrated because you worked out this morning. You have to celebrate daily. If you wait to celebrate till you get to the goal and you're not falling in love with the process, the likelihood of you hitting the goal is unlikely. So celebrate can just look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know what, Stephanie, good job. I'm very proud of you. Or you just acknowledge the fact, like, I did it. I had a good day. If you use the habit tracker that I have, give yourself a gold star like you did in kindergarten, right? Like, I'm going to give myself a gold star. Or I'm going to, if I do it all month long, I'm going to go buy myself a new outfit. If I do this, my husband and I are going to go on a date. We're going to go to a movie that we've been wanting to see. You don't need to celebrate with food, although you can go out for dinner. But in general, those are the 7 steps. Like, if you just visually write things down, you shouldn't be overwhelmed. Don't quit. You're not failing. Well, the only way you fail is if you quit. And if you're overwhelmed and you're tired, take that habit tracker and work on one thing for the next week. One. I'm going to work on just my water intake. And then when you feel like, okay, I've got my shaker bottle, I'm drinking my water, then we'll dive into eating food, eating better, right? When you do that, then we'll dive into intermittent fasting. I would actually start with this. This is how I started 8 years ago. And I didn't do anything else because this helped me feel amazing to do all of those things. But in general, I'll send you the habit tracker. You can print it out, give yourself a gold star, give yourself a check mark. Celebrate daily so that you keep going. You don't need to be overwhelmed. When you're overwhelmed, take a step back, take a breather, go for a walk. If you're frustrated with the food in front of you, like, what is a better option? Doesn't have to be perfect. And know that you are worth it. You cannot give to other people in your family or other people around you if you don't feel good. Your health is everything. And if you don't feel good and you're not taking care of yourself, you can't pour into other people, and you're more likely to fight with others, get frustrated, bark at them, yell at them, because if you don't feel good, it comes out of you. People know that, right? Take some time, focus on you, one step at a time. So yes, all of you that are saying habit tracker below, I'll send that to you. Print it out, put it on your refrigerator. You set yourself up for success, and one step at a time. You're not going to hit your goal overnight. You didn't get here overnight. You didn't gain all of the weight overnight. It has been accumulated over years. So give yourself a year. I know you don't like that, but if you gave yourself a solid year to feel better, then the rest of your years, you'll feel amazing. Is it hard? Yes. Is it hard being overweight? Yes. So put in the work now so that you feel better later. I'm always here to help. You can go to KetoMomSecrets.com. Click on recipes, how to get started, send me a message, ask questions below, go drink some ketones. I'll let you know when the sale drops for the end of the month because you're going to want to grab some. And for those of you who are doing the reboot, continue to tune in, reach out with questions. This is super helpful. Thank you for tuning in. And I can't read all of the comments because it's going too fast, but I'll come back and send you guys a message. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful morning. I'm always here to help, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.